All right, everybody, welcome to this very unusual 2020 Admiral's Banquet for Starfleet Command 7th Fleet. Um, we hold this on the last Saturday of January of every year, and this is an anniversary celebration for our organization. And even though it's called the Admiral's Banquet, um, Admiral Hollinger said at the very first Admiral's Banquet, this is a time when the Admiralty actually gets to honor and celebrate what you as members of this fleet have done um, over the past year with Star Trek, with your fandom, with your lives, what you've done, basically improving yourselves, improving the community around you. And this is one of those opportunities to do that. Um, we are recording this, at least the introduction for the Admiral's Banquet, and we will put this on the 7th Fleet website for anybody to go ahead and view later. If you were not able to join us at this point in time for the Admiral's Banquet, you were missed. We've actually just spent the last half hour, 45 minutes just catching up and talking. Some of us actually haven't seen each other in quite some time. And a big reason for that is because of basically how the year 2020 went. I'm not going to rehash a lot of stuff from 2020 because there is a lot of, well, we didn't do a whole heck of a lot. However, I would like to point out that I am very proud of some of the inspiration, ingenuity, and creative ideas that members of our fleet have done just to keep in contact with our Star Trek family. We basically, that word is something we've used a lot, family, and that's something that we have always done for quite some time, is that we have cared about each other, and we take care of each other, and we do what we can for each other when we can. Sometimes the situation has really become unique, which 2020 has been almost a unique situation. I feel sorry for all those people who bought those daily calendars or the daily books, calendar books for 2020, saying, "Hey, this is all the stuff I'm going to do. Here's my schedules and here are my appointments," and all of a sudden they didn't get a chance to fill those dates in. But I've seen online movies, I've seen online games, I've seen meetings in a park where they can still get together and see each other, but maintain a distance, which is needed and under current guidelines. So I appreciate you all being here, and I appreciate you watching this later. If you've got if you couldn't join us and you're watching this later, I would like to go ahead and get some of our traditions going that we usually do at these annual events. We can't hug each other and we can't stand up and applaud the different groups or have them be recognized when certain things happen, but we can go ahead and mention a few of the different things that have come about. Number one, we want to remember crewman second class Melanie Ramos of the Kelly, who unfortunately did pass away this past year. And we're going to go ahead and take a minute of silence to go ahead and remember her. So we're going to go ahead and start that now. Thank you, everyone. And that moment of silence and who we need to remember should also extend to everybody else that we've lost. Some people in our personal lives, some famous people have been lost as well over the past year. And we wanted to go ahead and basically recognize those as well. So think about those people, and when you think about them, there's one of the members of the fleet actually had a very good phrase that she said to me one time, is that may that person's memory always be a blessing. And so when you think of the person that has passed on, think about that same thing. Think about how their memory is a blessing, and hopefully it makes you smile. We didn't have any new command grade officers get promoted last year. I understand some are very close, and I encourage you to do that last little bit of effort, whatever needs to be done to go ahead and get over that finish line. It's going to be a huge feeling of joy and jubilation when you get that done, because it's something you've worked for. And that's one of the things I've always liked about this organization, is that, you know, I don't just hand a rank to somebody, and the captain of a chapter doesn't just hand a rank to somebody. You actually earn that rank. And that has been something I think has been one of our strengths, is that when we see these people who are our family members and how we've helped them and how they've actually reached that goal. And that has been something that has been something I've been very proud of during our quite some time. Almost, we're what, 22, 23 years now, actually. This is our 23rd year of being as a fleet, and I'm still impressed with what everybody does and what everybody can put together. One of the things we always do at the Admiral's Banquet is we recognize all the different chapters that make up the many different organizations within the 7th Fleet. I would like to go ahead and recognize them now. And again, normally, if this was a normal, we're all together in a big banquet room, listening to my boring speech as we were getting ready to eat, type of deal, that we'd have the members of those chapters stand up. So I want you, when you see what I've got here for you, when you see your chapter, I want you to basically feel a little bit of pride in that. And I want you to go ahead and say, hey, that's us. And we're part of this. And that can be the round of applause that you would normally get when you stand up. I'm going to go in order of when they were formed. So first we have the USS Kelly, one of our chapters in Salt Lake City, Utah. And Captain Neda Linares is our commanding officer for that. So thank you very much to the members of the Kelly, and I hope to see you soon. Our next oldest chapter, I apologize, I didn't have a very good quality graphic for this, is the USS Rendezvous up in Cache Valley, Utah, up in Logan, Utah. Captain Ann Knowlton. I see somebody clapping. I can't hear you, but I can see you. Captain Erica Stark and the USS Ticonderoga. And they are in Weber and Davis County, Utah. And they are one of the oldest chapters that we have within our organization. So glad to see you guys here. I know there are several Ticonderoga members on the meeting today. In Idaho, Captain Charles Core and the USS Valkyrie. They are one of the organizations that actually reached out to us and said, hey, we want to join your fleet. And they have been great contributors to our organization since they have joined. In Tooele, Utah, we have the USS White Buffalo. Captain Aaron Stevens, who, by the way, is the person responsible for getting this video conference put together tonight. So we want to say thank you, Captain Stevens. But great to have our members from the White Buffalo here. Also from Utah, the USS Essex. They actually they were operating out of Idaho for a while, but Captain, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. I think I'm getting old. I know I'm getting old. Roger Taylor. Sorry, Roger. It's not you, it's me. um, Captain Roger Taylor and his crew, they're a big group of gamers. But Captain Taylor just moved back from Idaho back to Utah. So they have basically been reestablished back in Utah now. Our newest full chapter is the USS Pulsar, based out of Utah County, Utah, the Provo, Utah area. And they officially launched as a full chapter just last year after being a chapter in training, and they had completed all those requirements. So congratulations to the crew of the USS Pulsar. And for those of you who haven't heard, the spirit guide for the Pulsar is the owl. And they received a statue of the owl wearing steampunk gear. So it had like a jetpack and little flight goggles on and everything. It actually was really cool looking. And that's what chose them. Now we have a couple of chapter and trainings, and these are chapters that are going through the process of moving from training status to full chapter status. And so hopefully we'll hear something about them soon. First, we have the USS Mystic, which is Lieutenant Commander Galen Anderson in Vermont. Yes, he moved to the other side of the states, and he has been running the Mystic out there. In Salt Lake City, we have the USS Delaware with Lieutenant Commander Bob Allen and his crew, and they are working towards full chapter status. And then in 2020, right before this whole shebang hit, which caused a lot of us not to be able to go ahead and get together or anything, so they have had virtual meetings, but they have not had a chance to do online or in-person meetings yet, is the USS Strymon. And that is under Commander Eleni, I'm going to mispronounce your last name, George Do, which I'm pretty sure she's probably sitting there trying to correct me right now. So Eleni, I'm sorry. I am horrible at pronouncing names, but we want to welcome the crew of the USS Strymon to the fleet, and we're looking forward to seeing your many great adventures. So those are our chapters. We have several different members of the Admiralty that I would like to recognize. We have Commodore Marla Trowbridge, who is basically in charge of our academy, and she does a lot towards trying to increase and expand the knowledge of the members of the fleet. If you have anything you want to learn, or if you have anything you want to teach, get a hold of her. We have Admiral Stuart Hunsaker, who actually came out of retirement to go ahead and assist with some of the duties of the fleet. He has actually taken on some of the responsibilities, which has actually helped clear some of Commodore Trowbridge's plate, which we're very grateful for. And then we also have the gentleman who also started this whole shebang, is kind of responsible for a lot of us being here. And how do you say it? An all-around great guy. And he's also one of my best friends, Admiral Dennis Hollinger. And I really wish that everybody could hear the round of applause that we would be giving Dennis and Stuart and Marla for all of the many, many different efforts that they put into this. I thank them for dealing with me. As Commander-in-Chief, I'm always looking at what other groups are doing. I'm always looking at what our groups are doing. I'm always looking at different ideas, and sometimes an idea will excite me, and so they have to deal with my excitement. They're like, oh, Carl, calm down, calm down. Let's see if we can really do this. Hold on. Sounds cool, but let's make sure we're looking at this correctly, because sometimes I'm like, this would be cool. We should do this. This is something I think that that really benefit the members of the fleet. And it's something that we're constantly talking about and something we're constantly working on all together. So I thank these people from the bottom of my hearts from helping out, the commanding officers who make up the members of the 7th Fleet Council, They do quite a bit. There is a lot. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there is a lot that they do behind the scenes that you may never see, and they do it on a volunteer basis. They do it without pay. Sometimes they're not even getting a thank you, and sometimes they're giving up time with family. Sometimes they're giving up time for vacation or other fun things. And make sure to give them a thank you if you can at one point in time. That would be really appreciated. And where are we going to go from here? Well, we've put 2020 in the past. 2020 is in the rearview mirror. Some of the situations that have affected us in 2020 are still here. We are starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel, but there is still a ways before we get to the end of that particular tunnel. I want you all to be safe, and I want you all to be happy. To say your mental well-being is just as important as your physical well-being as well. The Seventh Fleet Council talked about this when we decided what we were going to be doing for the early part of 2021. And as most of you know, and part of the biggest reason that we're one of the biggest groups of friends and family around here is that we like seeing each other. We like giving each other hugs. We like talking to each other. We like finding out how things are going. So on that note, since we couldn't get together today because there were no facilities that were open during this time, we are planning to have a fleet picnic on Saturday, April 24th. We don't know which park it's going to be yet. The USS Rendezvous is coordinating this and putting it together because they would have been coordinating the Admiral's Banquet this year. So in all likelihood, it'll probably be a park up in Cache County. But as details become available, those will get passed on to your commanding officers. They'll also be put out on the Seventh Fleet blog, the Seventh Fleet Facebook page, and the Seventh Fleet Twitter. So look at all those different ways that we can use to go ahead and communicate with each other. Because we're hoping that even if the situation is still under somewhat of a warning situation, we're hoping we can at least get together and socially distance while we're getting together and eat. Also, the USS Ticonderoga will be hosting the Fleet Day with the Seventh Fleet Games on Saturday, August 7th. That will most likely be at a park in Davis County. Again, as details become available, we'll go ahead and let you know. And if you can't make the picnic, or for some reason the picnic doesn't happen, then by any effort that we can, we are going to go ahead and do the Fleet Day. We did an online Fleet Week last year with the Discord as kind of like a convention hall, and you had different rooms for video rooms and show off your meme rooms and show off your collection rooms, and they had a role-playing room and everything like that. And actually it went quite well, and that was also put together by the Ticonderoga last year, since we couldn't get together in person. We do have some work being progressed on right now on publications. We are eventually going to have a best of Seventh Fleet Annual, which is going to be a best of publications within the chapters, showing off your creativity, whether it be your artwork, whether it be your writing skills, photography, cosplay. Maybe you've made stuff for a game, one of the role-playing games, and that is something that we are currently working on right now. Also, speaking of creativity, when we get together in person, I know that the chapters are working on brand new banners. We've got a new method to go ahead and get those printed. They won't be a flag, they'll actually be a banner that you'd see at a convention banner where they'd be on a little type of thing. And they will be, they're being designed by you, the members of your crew. I've seen a few prototypes already, and even the fleet's going to have its own banner. And the prototype for that fleet banner is being worked on right now. We are moving forward. We are boldly going, and we are doing what we set out to do, which is basically have fun with our Star Trek fandom. Before I let you guys go, so that we can get to our fun activities and you guys can eat your Rice Krispies or pizza or whatever it is you're having for your feast, I want to ask you to do something. Reach out to somebody. Reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a long time. Maybe reach out to somebody you've never talked to at all. Maybe it's somebody in the fleet. Maybe it's somebody outside the fleet. Maybe it's somebody part of another fandom altogether. But reach out to them and just say, hey, how are you doing? What do you need? And are you doing okay? I think by sticking together, I think by keeping in contact with each other, that is something that we can do to help each other out. Whether they're a member of this fleet or not, it doesn't matter. Help people. That is what we do as part of our community service. I'm also going to issue a challenge to all of our chapters. I would like you to reach out to another organization, another chapter. It could be a local chapter of another fleet, or even a chapter it's all the way on the other side of the planet. It could be a chapter for Star Trek fandom, Star Wars fandom, any type of fandom. You could use ham radio, you could use the internet, you can use postal mail. It doesn't matter how you're going to do that. I would like to see you guys just reach out to another group and just say, hey, how are you doing? And how are things going with your fandom in your area, in your neck of the woods? Thanks to the beauty of the internet, I've actually been able to talk to groups in Australia. And I've been able to talk to groups in all sorts of places across this planet. And sometimes what they're doing is just as exciting as what we do here in the States. So reach out to them in the hand of friendship and just say, hey, how are you doing? And we just want to be Star Trek fans, Star Trek friends with you, or we just want to be geek friends with you. So I think I bored you enough. I think I haven't told any of my jokes yet. Unless you guys want me to go ahead and stick around, I can tell you some of my jokes. But I'm pretty sure Aaron would probably cut off my mic and cut off my recording. So I just want to again say thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being my friends, for being part of the Star Trek family. And you know what? This is the very opportune time to say, live long and prosper, and peace and long life. My friends, thank you very much.